everyone. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for this Becoming Ecosystems Champion session. Feel free to turn your cameras on, say hello, tell us where you're joining us from, what brought you to take part in this session. All of you heard just now a beautiful song, which I will not say the title of because I'll probably butcher it, so we'll send information on the chat. But it's essentially a song that was born from the Cordillera people. It essentially talks about water, but it ultimately as well talks about the resilience, the courage, and the leadership that's needed to protect the ecosystems that we all depend on. And this is how this Becoming session came about. But to give you some overview on what we do and how the session was born, the Youth4Capacity program holds these webinars under the Becoming series because there's various different ways that youth can act as change makers in climate action, from being innovators, negotiators, educators, storytellers. And we wanted to encapsulate and really cover how youth can defend the ecosystems that we all depend on and become ecosystems champions. So as we go through the session, I hope you'll think to ourselves what it means to really be an ecosystem champion. And I hope you take all the learnings from the wonderful speakers we'll have in here today and consider how you can collaborate with Indigenous youth, protect ecosystems, and contribute to just and sustainable solutions in your communities. So with that, I would just like to quickly thank the wonderful team of AYIPN, the Asia Young Indigenous Peoples Network, our colleagues at the Youth Empowerment and Climate Action Platform, and as well our fellow UNFCCC colleagues of the Regional Collaboration Center of the Asia-Pacific. We'll send some links of these wonderful organizations and initiatives on the chat. And with that, thank you all for joining, and I'll pass it over to Cindy Johanna to start us off. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eva. Good afternoon from Indonesia. Good morning and good evening to everyone who joining from different parts of the world. Welcome to the Youth for Capacity Becoming webinar series. Today's session is titled Becoming Ecosystem Champions. I am Cindy Johanna, the Council of Leaders, members of the Asia Young Indigenous People Network, or AYIPN, and also part of PIPAN. I will be your facilitator for today's activity. Today, we bring you stories and strategies from Indigenous youth leaders across Asia who are at the forefront of defending their land, culture, and also the planet. Before we begin, we'd like to invite everyone to use the chat to share your name, organization, and where you are joining for. So let's see how global our community is to guide you through what we'll be doing. Here's our simple flow for today's webinar. We'll begin with screening the Panagsupyat, the Young Indigenous People Guide to Combating Destructive Mining. After that, we'll have reflection and talk back about the film. Then we'll move on into a panel discussion with our two Indigenous youth leaders from the Philippines and also India. We'll also open the floor for question and answer from the participant. And finally, we'll have a synthesis and also closing remarks to connect our reflection to the broader global climate justice movement. So let's begin our journey. To start, we'll first watch a short film titled Panagsupyat, Young Indigenous People Guide to Combating Destructive Mining. Panagsupyat is an Ilocano word that means struggle or resistance. This film is a project of the AYIPN that capture the life realities of indigenous people who defend their ancestral land, ecosystem, and cultures against environmental degradation, displacement, and impacts of the climate change. Please, everyone, sit back and immerse yourself in their stories. Let us all watch the Panagsupyat together.
Our indigenous communities have long been on the front lines of resistance. Indigenous peoples defend their ancestral lands with unmatched courage, not just for themselves, but for all of us. You will hear the stories of those who continue to sing, speak, and rise against the destruction of our land, our culture, and our future. Their courage proves one thing: our fight is just. The practice of powerful foreign corporations exploiting the natural resources of poorer countries is called extractivism. Under the system, mountains are flattened, rivers poisoned, and forests cleared, all for profit. These corporations don't just take minerals or timber. They extract life from the land, disrespect indigenous ways of living, and ignore our right to decide what happens in our territories. In the Philippines, extractivism targets indigenous homes through mining, logging, dams, and plantations. These projects operate under laws like the Philippine Mining Act of 1995. As of 2024, nearly 350 mining agreements cover over 740,000 hectares, from Luzon to Mindanao. This is the harsh reality of extractivism, a system built on resource plunder, corruption, and violent repression. The Cordillera region, a mountainous area located in northern Luzon, is home to a group of indigenous peoples collectively called Igorot. It is also known as the watershed cradle of the north and referred to as an ecological zone. Currently, 106 large-scale mining project applications threaten the region. It covers 34% of its 1.8 million hectares total land area. On the other hand, active mining projects in Cordillera have several cases of free, prior, and informed consent, or FPIC violations. Indigenous communities are then compelled to protest to protect their ancestral territories. These, in turn, are met with state-perpetrated reprisals, like intense militarization, bombings, red tagging, terrorist tagging, trumped-up charges, and abduction. The indigenous peoples in the Cordillera are all the more threatened under the current Marcos Jr. government. The president himself has familial ties with owners of big mining firms. He has also made public pronouncements in support of large-scale mining projects. With this situation, the struggle continues. Rima Mangili is among those who continue to struggle against large-scale mining.
May saa kadagid zay uuping nga nabukol akas anti-open pit mining kids. Idzay ukab itogon iti panawan iti panakilaban iti open pit iti lugar mi.
Their town experiences more than 100 years of large-scale mining.
Akas idi ubing mi nakitak no kas ano wano impact dagiti large-scale mining taawanen dagiti danom dan danom mi nadadaol dagiti umaawanen dagiti kay kayo. Nakitak matlaeng no kas ano kan si tuturod dagiti apapong mi no kas ano da nga nilakodan iti expansion iti Benguet Corporation iti lugar mi.
Eventually, Rima and her community successfully ended the open pit mining operations of BCI. However, the company maintained its other operations.
Kasapulan nga agtitinulong kan kasapulan lata nga kolektibo iti panagtignay tayo tapno iti kasta tuloy-tuloy nga dipinsaan tayo iti daga biag kan kinabaknang.
Meanwhile, the Philippines mining industry is largely concentrated in Mindanao. However, almost all of the areas of mining operations overlap with indigenous Lumad territories. The government agencies that are mandated to uphold IP rights are instead facilitating the selling out of ancestral lands to private corporations. The DENR issues ECCs to these companies despite the significant environmental threats of their projects. The NCIP is a key player to deadly counterinsurgency operations and vilification campaigns. Based on a Global Witness report, Mindanao has the highest by far recorded number of killings of indigenous and anti-mining activists in the past decade. For instance, Ned Village, situated along the boundaries of South Cotabato, Sultan Kudarat, and Sarangani provinces, had gained attention since the infamous Lake Cebu massacre. It was jointly carried out by the Philippine Army's 27th and 33rd Infantry Battalions. It had claimed the lives of 8 Lumad farmers in Sitio Datal, Bonglangon. One of them is the Lumad leader Dato Victor Danyang. He was a chieftain and the leader of the Taboli Manobos Daf Claimants Organization, or Tamasco. They are an indigenous peoples organization in Sultan Kudarat and South Cotabato, where much of the deposits for coal mining lie. His nephew, Jeffrey Danyan, is a youth member of Tamasco.
Kasama din po ako sa massacre na nangyari. Ako po din ay wounded ng dalawang tama ng bala sa dibdib.
Sister of Dato Victor and survivor Bailey Tawali, along with Jeffrey, vowed to continue the fight for IP rights to ancestral land.
Jadi dengan be omon be area. Jadi kepenita do jadi hutisya tu ye. Nah, be jadi ketebung lekut. Jadi kabiugan jadi temebung kut nang kemong kami itu. Jadi on di kut. Padayun jadi kut kebong nawadu jadi kut tono. Padayun jadi kuai ketebung lekut.
The youth's involvement in shaping policies and challenging the unjust system is critical in building an inclusive and equitable future. In order to do so, we should do these 3 operative steps. First, educate. It can be achieved through the conduct of social investigations, research, interviews, and community integrations. It also includes educational discussions or EDs to explore our ideas, clarify perspectives, and develop our own understanding of social issues. Second, organize. Organizing involves people uniting to work together to bring about the change they desire. Organizing indigenous youth gives us the chance to actively advocate for rights, culture, and environment. Third, take action. Taking action means actively participating in the defense of our lands. Local campaigns are a starting point for broader support. It also encourages solidarity within our communities. Advocacy work and lobbying also helps our community to secure legal recognition of our land rights. Protests are a critical tool in the fight for social justice. Aside from these, a just mining policy is crucial to breaking free from this cycle of exploitation. The People's Mining Bill, pushed by progressive lawmakers and grassroots movements, envisions a mining industry that benefits the Filipino people instead of foreign corporations. This is the alternative to the current system. This is a policy that prioritizes people over profit. The road ahead is difficult, but we have always fought back. And indigenous youth plays an important role in carrying on and pushing forward. History has shown us that resistance is necessary and that victory is possible. Our fight is just, and a brighter future awaits.
Wow, thank you for that powerful film. Panagsupyat remind us that when we talk about climate justice, it's not just about the carbon, everything, but it's about the culture, the people, and also the land, and of course the life itself. We'd now like to open the floor for Q&A and also for reflection from our audience. What message or moment from the film that resonate with you the most? You can share also your in the chat, or raise your hand if you like to speak. We have like the member from the AYIPN that also can answer us if you have a question. Okay. Is there anyone who would like to share or give us a reflection about the movie? You can using the chat, or you can also raise your hand. Maybe we can see. Oh, I see Gunjal. Gunjal, you can.
Yep. So I mean, I thought that, kind of I should start. Probably the other participants are feeling a bit shy. So, though the video was from the Philippines, I could actually see many parallels with whatever is happening in India, especially the central part. So here in my states, there are, lots and lots of mining activities going on, and kind of, the people, especially the indigenous people living there, are not being directly benefited by those. In fact, they are being displaced by whatever thing is happening. So I could very much relate to whatever is happening in Philippines with what we have been seeing in India, and also I'm sure it's happening in other parts of the world also. So as part of definitely as a part of climate justice, since we are all here, definitely we should act in solidarity with each other. Since we share a common problem. Definitely, probably, if we can come together on certain issues, probably we'll be able to work our way through these difficulties in a better way. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Gunjal. I see Priya also raising hand. You can go ahead, Priya.
Hi, so I belong from India. I'm coming from India. Again, where Gunjal has come from. So it's not related to mining, but it's about other activities which are happening in the state or around. We have great biodiversity in India, and we have a lot of projects coming up which would, destroy a lot of biodiversity in islands, in Indian islands, around Indian islands, and that would be a irreversible change. So yes, we are concerned about that part, and also this movie shows us the path. Like if all of us young people, raise our voices, come together, because policymakers do make policies for some reason, but if we care for something and we raise our voices all together, I think we can bring the change. We can make the people understand, okay, what you do is impacting us and we care for it. So yes, that is my takeaway from this movie.
Wow. Thank you so much, Priya. Thank you for the sharing. And also like, yeah, it is really true that it is that we are acknowledged that what they do is we are hearing it. And also like I want to uh, acknowledge that Romeo already put the link for the Panagsupyat. I'm sorry, it is hard to pronounce it. Panagsupyat video and zine in the chat. You can definitely see it. Yeah. Is there anyone else who want to share? I also see. I guess Paul also. I love how the video shares and discuss in short but informative way. I imagine it's shown and what thing in social media very easily accessible. And also we have from Manandi Wenani Herat. very inspiring. I love the part where it is emphasizes the resilience of youth and what they have done and to make the world a better place. Wow. Thank you for the sharing. Is there anyone else who want to share or want to ask some question?
Can I speak,
Okay.
ma'am?
Of course. Yeah. You can do Shadish Kanta. Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Shindy, for giving me opportunity. Uh, I'm deeply inspired by the Cordillera people's struggle against mining and extractivism, as we show in that short video. And in Manipur also, we are about to begin to experience these similar challenges, and we already experienced bad experience on building of mega dams in Manipur, and we are about to face similar situation like mining in Manipur. So together we can stand in solidarity against this imperialist exploitation and unsustainable development, so that we can learn each other. Like this short video gave so much message, and it gives me inspire indigenous people like us, so we can stay together and we can stand together to defend our land from this exploitation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sadish, for the sharing. Is there anyone else who want to share with us or want to ask question?
Can I share a point, ma'am?
Yeah. Yes. Hi.
Hello, everyone. I am Kiran from the northern Pakistan. So, where I live, I'm truly amazed by the video and the cooperation of the people to, deal with the challenges that they are facing over there. And where I live, my village or my valley is also surrounded by a lot of natural resources, and yes, mining and other things are happening there, but the government is paying like a little bit of money to the people, and that's like making them like a little bit of money, and because of that small amount of money, not a lot of people are ready to take actions together, and that's like making it very hard to stop them for those who want them to stop it. And also, I really love the point from the video where the girl was saying that prioritizing people over money, and I really love that point. And yes, I'm truly inspired by that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Wow, what a powerful sharing. I see Agnes. Yes, you can share.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good
I am
afternoon.
simply amazed to see the video, though I'm also from the Philippines. But I'm far from the place that was shown in the video. I share my sentiment with the people of that area. And what I wanted to learn from this connection we have, if the convention or the convener can do something for that area, because I feel really that there's a lot of injustices, environmental justices for the environment and for the indigenous people of the area. That's all.
Okay, thank you so much, Agnes, for the solidarity with for the Rera people and also for the sharing. And is there anyone else? Like I see in chat, like from Mark, in Africa, youth are rising, demanding for climate justice. Our caravan start from 20 to 30 this month. This video is so cool to me. Wow. From Gambia, the youth are the leading in advocate and of the ecosystem and how to protect from exploitation with the current rate of exploitation. Guys, you can also do like share in the chat And then if you we still have time, if you want to share in the okay, Isaac Wembab, yes.
Yes, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm Isaac Wembabazi from Uganda. I lead a team of young people. We started an organization called Elevate Youth Initiative in Uganda. So in relation to ecosystem protection in Uganda, we've encountered many challenges in regards to protecting the ecosystem because, as you know, in Uganda here, young people make a biggest percentage of up to 70% of the general population, but you realize that their representation in decision-making places or slots is limited. And we have a challenge here that we have a challenge whereby the agencies that have been put in place to protect ecosystems here actually do the contrary. You realize that they give these forests, wetlands, they give them to investors. You realize that they are setting up industries in wetlands, and as young people, we really find a challenge to break that chain, because first of all, we are not ably represented. So it's a challenge on our side, whereby actually the system that will be supporting us to protect this, but I realize that they've constructed an industry, manufacturing industry in a wetland. They've given away a forest to plant sugarcane. So it's really, these things are really happening in our country, and it's good that I've been able to be part of this, at least to get an idea as so that how us as a young organization, we can influence this from the grassroots level, because our aim is at least to reach out to many young people to raise that grassroots demand, because we believe if we young people, since we are the majority, if we come up with one voice, then we can be able to make a change. Otherwise, I thank you for this.
Thank you so much, Isaac. Maybe we hear from Priya, then we can proceed with Priya.
Hi, Cindy. I'll be sharing something very quick. So if we have time, so and I'm coming from National Youth Climate Consortium, and I'm a climate champion who represents Goa. And just like me, we have 35 climate champions in each state and union territory in India. And we are working on different sectors. I myself, I am working on mangrove conservation. Then I have my fellow champions who are working on sanitation. Someone is working on garbage collection. Someone is working on green city framework. So this story that you have shown us, like we all of us are in between of our projects, our fellowships, and we are working together to bring a change in our own country. Although we have not worked so far that we could constitute or establish something like people's mining bill, we are on our way. But I just wanted to share about this, and this story that you have showed us is very inspiring, and I feel like there is a representation of young people who are working towards like ecosystem restoration and ecosystem conservation. So thank you for that. And I would be grateful if you could share this story with us so I can share it with my fellow champions and I can show them, okay, there are more people like us who are working like us around the globe. So that's it.
Okay, thank you so much, Priya. Okay, maybe the last one, Mohammed. After that, we can proceed for our next session.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Can you hear me? Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
I am Tijan Bundu. I'm a youth advocate at the Youth Climate Council for Sierra Leone. For the past years, we have not been involved into youth advocates for conservation and environmental sustainability. Well, after the establishment of the Youth Climate Council, youth are coming up with initiative to conserve the environment. Recently, we have a new heritage site. For the first time in Sierra Leone, we have an heritage site to be among the UNESCO sites. So youths within the Freetown, the capital of Sierra Leone, are working to support from the Freetown City Council to preserve our mangrove within the estuaries we have within the country. So we have been doing our best to see how best we conserve our environment, our coastal communities within the cities, because this has been a challenge. Over the years, we have experienced floods. So since then, the mayor of Freetown has supported youth-led organization to bring out initiative to conserve the environment, plant mangroves, and also manage them. So, and also he's also working on a tree planting on terrestrial environment to see how best we manage the environment together. So youth are fully involved into this activity. This is a great achievement we have been working on for the past 2 years since the establishment of the Youth Climate Council for Sierra Leone. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Tejan. And for everyone who want to share, you can feel free to use the chat box to share what you want to share. Thank you so much for everyone that are sharing the reflection. It's truly inspiring to hear these stories connect to all of our experience and also advocacy. To continue our conversation, we are honored to have with us through incredible indigenous youth leaders who embody the spirit of Panagsupyat through their community work and climate leadership. Let me introduce you to our panelists. We have Ms. Catherine Dalon, representing the indigenous youth from the Philippines and also serving as AYIPN leader. She will share stories of resistance and resilience from indigenous youth communities confronting extractive projects and climate threats. And also we have Mr. Gunjal Ikirmunda, chairperson of AYIPN from India. He will speak about the intersection of indigenous knowledge, culture, and climate justice, and how our ancestral practice can guide sustainable solution. Welcome, Kat, and also Gunjal. Both of you have been deeply involved in the community work. Can you share your communities, how your communities are experiencing the climate crisis and what forms of resistance you see emerging? We'll start with Kat. Hi, Kat. Okay.
Hello.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Hello. My name is Kat Dalon. I am part of AYIPN and my organization is Tabukahan. It's an organization of Lumad women here in Mindanao. It's the southern part of the Philippines. Last week we just experienced the 7.4 magnitude earthquake, and then it's traumatic. The most affected place was the Manay, Davao Oriental, and then it's near where um Diwalwal Mining Corporation was located. And then they experienced landslide, and then 2 people die because of it. And then we can't go there, because last 2023 we went to Davao de Oro to give a relief operation, to conduct a relief operation in Davao de Oro, where the Masara landslide happened, and then 100 people died because of it. And then the DNR, the Department of Natural Resources here in the Philippines, said that it's a natural disaster. But we know that it's not natural, because the Masara mining operating 24/7. It's a shift where people are working in day, and then people working in night, and then even it's raining heavily, they are still they still um told their people to work in the mining. So that's what happened, and then we were red tagged because of it. And then they said that we can't go inside because we are part of New People's Army, a communist group. And then so for us right now, it's really hard, to go in Manay, Davao Oriental, because of that. But we tried. No, we made partnership with other organization and institutions, so we can help, to in the in Manay, where people are affected of the landslide because of the mining. And then it's in January, we were supposed to plant a rice here in the Philippines. In Mindanao, we were supposed to plant a rice, but the weather is not suitable for rice. No, it should be a rainy season, but in January it's really hot, and then we can't grow our rice. And then so our people doesn't speak English, but they know the words failure and short, because it is the result of our harvest. When so when we harvest you know when we harvest rice, and then it's not enough for us. No, it's not enough to feed our people. And then sometimes we have to sell it into the market, into the city. And then when we sell it, it costs so cheap, like 14 pesos. And then but when we buy a milled rice, it costs 30 pesos to 50 pesos. No, it's they already triple the price. And then um so it affects, the whole community. And then there are a lot of plantations. Nescafe and they are the biggest plantations here in Mindanao, where they contribute, a lot of uh calamity, when the um Del Monte um when the Del Monte started, in Bukidnon, there are a lot of landslide, because they use the land, for how many years. And then when they done using it, they would just leave it. And then we can't use it. We can plant rice in it, we can plant anything in that land. So we have to wait for decades. So right now there are still operating, in many locations here in Mindanao. And then it it's really unsa gani kana I'm speaking Bisaya. it's it's really enraging, because the mining companies here in the Philippines contributing only 0.74% in the gross domestic product of the whole economy of the Philippines. And then they would just said that they provide scholarship, which is the band-aid solution of the biggest problem of education. And then they would just say that they provide work in they provide work to the people, but it's not sustainable because after the mine, the land is it's not suitable anymore, no, for us to plant. So what we do is expose, no, the mining companies, because the owner of mining companies are also the oligarch, no, where they run for senate. Uh for example, the Villar family, no, they are um doing a reunion in the Senate because the father, the mother, and the daughter and the son are in the Senate, and then they are the one of the owner of mining companies here in the Philippines, especially here in Mindanao. So we can pass the people's mining bill because of it, no, because Zubiri and a lot of um senator are the owner of these companies that's again distracting our land and killing our land, killing our people. So what we do is to expose them, and then um we went to school. We do, you know, room to room, it's like we go to university and ask the professors to 5 minutes to explain our campaign, or to explain what's happening in here in Mindanao. And then last month here in Davao City, they are celebrating uh Kadayawan Festival, no, where they celebrate the abundance of culture of Lumad people, and then the Moro people, and then they would marketing, no, that our ancestral lands is rich, and then but it's ironic because we were displaced, no, the um the vice president of the Philippines, no, where she ordered, no, to close our Lumad school. It's a community built school where we provide our own education, and then they close it, and then the former president, no, Duterte, ordered, no, to bomb our communities and school. And it's so ironic because the Duterte are dominating the whole Davao City, and then um they are celebrating Kadayawan Festival. So what we did is we go to school, we go to communities, and we tell stories, no, about the mining companies, about the schools, about the killings, about Ubelyo Bayao, about Kuni Kuba, and a lot of names, Chad Book, Choreno, and others. So yeah, and then we also do rally, mobilization in the street. Um, Sometimes it really scary because a lot of intelligence are around us, and then a lot of police, no, and a lot of police are um just standing, no, in front of us, and then harassing us, taking picture of us. And then what's happening in communities when we last time we went to community in our community, we gave a we conduct a discussion about the climate change, about the climate crisis. And then after that we experienced surveillance. They went to our house, no, they talked to my mother, and then they said I have to surrender, I have to go to battalion, no, to clear my name because I am part of this organization and doing this communist thing. So we exposed them, no, and then uh the, for now it's really hard to um because people are scared, no, there are surveillance. And then yesterday I went home, and then there are 3 drones and roaming around. And then my aunt said that they used to it because the drone was the drone is there, no, every night from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. And then they almost sagani victim of it because the drone is I don't know what's the name of the drone, but it's the drone that detect temperature. And then they slept in the farm, and then the drone detect them, and then the military went to the farm, and then they confront them. No, the military confront my aunt, and then the other people, and then they force them to live into that farm. So for now, it's our the when we ask the community, no, to rebuild the organization, then they won't accept it anymore, no, because they were scared, because the military are harassing them, uh death threats, and then they are not allowed to go out, no, to go out from our community, because the military would give the wait so gani parang limit a time. If they would for example, they would give 3 hours, and if you can't go back to the community for 3 hours, you are already supporting the terrorist group, no. So for now, they are very scared, no. But what we do in Sabukahan is we continue, no, to tell story, to go to the street, no, to rally, no, to mobilize, and then we go to universities, no, to mobilize students for in order them to unite with us, no, to stand with us, because sometimes they're also scared, but we just tell them that we can't be scared anymore, no, because if we will be scared, if we lost our land, we lost our lives, we lost our culture, we lost everything, and then they are also benefiting our land, because of the food, the water, so so they have to stand with us. Then that's all. Sorry.
Thank you, Kat, for sharing such an amazing stories about what happened in the communities, and also how the indigenous peoples, the indigenous youth, still resist despite all of the things that happened. Like, so the next question is for Gunjal. Indigenous knowledge and traditional practice have sustained ecosystem for generation. How can this be integrated into global climate solution?
Yep.
Yeah,
So
floor
thank you,
is
Cindy.
yours.
Yeah. So I'll pick up from where the other speakers have kind of queued. That indigenous people, by the very nature, they have been living in a particular place or a particular geographical location for quite some time. Quite some time is probably thousands of years. So it's natural for them, through observation and through empirical knowledge, that they have attained a sort of equilibrium with the surrounding, where they are in great harmony with the surrounding nature, they are in a symbiotic relation. So the relation has been kind of codified in the language, in the tradition, in their way of life, so that whenever the things which we saw in the video, suppose an external force, when it comes to kind of extract things, the whole system actually collapses. The whole indigenous way of life, which had been sustained through mutual give and take with nature, it kind of collapses. And it's very difficult for the community to kind of sustain. So definitely, whatever knowledge which an indigenous community has, which helped them survive through generations without harming the environment, actually. So we actually do need to kind of think of actually integrating those things in the national policy, international policy, because those things, the challenge is actually that those things definitely were very localized, and to a great extent it was very effective. But how can those things be also effective, suppose in a larger scale? So the question also comes that whether those things are possible in a larger scale, or kind of we'll have to make do with the decentralized system where each and every community gets its own autonomy and it interacts in its own way with the environment. So definitely, even in climate change, climate justice, uh, new things are coming up. Even all the countries coming up for the Paris Agreement. It was kind of just yesterday. If you look at the whole climate crisis going on, I mean, people should have united some long time ago. But it was around 8 years ago where people kind of came together. So, people are learning, humanity is learning new things, and there's a big area which lies with the indigenous people, their knowledge system, which till now has not yet been documented. And on top of it, it's on the verge of being extinct because, of ongoing pressure from outside, people forgetting their way of life, people forgetting their knowledge, their language. So these things are also on the verge of getting lost. So uh, if these things actually get lost, we can be losing some of the vital points, which in the coming days could be actually implemented across the globe in places, where there is, kind of more resistance with nature, the urban areas. So, I mean, there's lots of potential in it, even in terms of innovation, even in terms of advocacy, people coming together. So, even, in terms of, understanding how democracy works. So indigenous people have actually kind of pioneered democracy in their own small space where you get to listen to people. But if these things are getting lost, then these value system, these innovative things, then it's very difficult, in coming days when new challenges arise in front of us, in front of the whole humanity. That if we don't have these knowledge system with us, then probably we won't be able to tackle the problem which we yet not have faced. So it's definitely very, very essential for us to kind of document, and more than document, it's kind of internalize those values which our ancestors have been passing on from generations to generation. And as you definitely know, in IAPN, we definitely kind of encourage these values, have been encouraging these values across the South Asian countries and even beyond. And we have been supporting youth movements and based on these very values, connection to your ancestral land and your community. So definitely uh, uh, being in touch with your community, internalizing the values which have been passed down from generations to generations, and they have time and again proved to be sustainable for their community in ensuring the longevity and the livelihood of the community. These things definitely must be internalized, especially by the youth who are at a crossroads. They have lots to explore, at the same time they have lots to protect. So they're at a crossroads, and definitely the future of the whole planet and also of the youth themselves, they lie within themselves as to how they carry forward these knowledge system. And I'm sure because I can say lots of young faces here, and they have lots and lots of commitment towards the community, and the solution actually lies within the community, and it has been practiced again and again by the whole humanity. Probably we are choosing to look the other way. That's we are trying to find a shortcut to things, but actually the solution lies within the community, in our community way of life. So that's what I'll have to say.
Thank you so much, Kunja, and also Catherine for the powerful insight that you've both reminded us that indigenous youth is really not just a stakeholder, but also the frontline leaders shaping climate justice through the knowledge, creativity, also the courage. We'll now open the space for question and also comments from the audience. If you'd like to ask something, please use raise hand and also type your question in the chat. I see Mori Jambai. Mori Jambai, you want to ask question or share comment?
Good morning.
Good morning.
And I'm Jambai Mori from Sierra Leone. I'm working under one community-based organization that is called Sunrise Movements Sierra Leone. We work in order to promote climate, to fight against climate change in our country. You know, climate issue is not a joke anymore because it is that threat to our life and the future generation to come. So as an organization or youth-led organization, we are there to promote awareness in relation to deforestation. We go to the community and talk to people about deforestation, and also we try to work with local and international NGOs in order to make sure that we promote those policies that are working in line with climate change in our country. Sierra Leone is that of a country that is exposed to the risks of flooding and that of global warming. So the issue of this climate change is very much important for we, the youth, to involve into climate advocacy, to raise more awareness to our people in the rural areas, because majority of people that are living in the rural areas do not know what really climate change is, and also they involve into human activities that really contribute to this climate change, like in the area of farming and that of mining. These activities is really disturbing the climate system of this of our country, and that has also led to low yield in agriculture, and that is very much bad for the country because the productivity of food will be what reduced. So as a youth-led organization, we are working, and even last week we are having a climate youth adaptation day wherein we gather a lot of youths to engage in on climate issue. We talk on NDCS and that of the Paris agreements which was made. We also talk about those things because these things are there, these policies are there in order to promote climate change in the group, around the group. So that is my own contribution towards this. Thank you.
Wow,
thank you
so much, Mori, for the sharing. Is there any more question or share if you want? Or like you can type the question in the chat. Okay, we have from Anupam Purti in the chat. Since we established that indigenous way of life is one of the key solutions for climate change, how can we make our indigenous voice heard at the global stage like the COP summit? Okay, maybe we can answer the question, and then like we have also Priya and Mark. You can or maybe you can both of you can ask the question, and then the Gunjal or Kat can answer you like for your question. We start with Priya. Hi Priya.
Hi, Cindy. So I would like to say, okay, Kat's resilience is commendable, and I'll say all the best to her because she has shared the struggle she's going through still. And my question is to uh, my question is to Gunjal. So, Gunjal, I understand what you said, like the policies, they are not decentralized. So they do not, work out for each community because it's not customized to their requirements. When you were saying community traditional knowledge, it was in my head, it was Biological Diversity Act coming all together again and again. So when we are changing our policies, when we are amending and we are changing our policies, depenalizing them, how can we ensure as young people, because the policy making is a huge task which is done by government, but how, like now that biological diversity act is depenalized, so there is a threat to access and benefit sharing which goes to community, and the traditional knowledge which is held by community, people can exploit that. How us, like the young people, how we can do something about it in our nation or something at global level? What would you like to suggest me for that, Gujar?
Yeah, well, you know, especially in the context of India, and also I think it can be generalized elsewhere also. We have had instances of, youth speaking up. But what I have kind of uh, realized that, these voices are very much in their own pockets. Uh, for example, in India also, people are speaking in the Northeast, in Central India, in the West India, in South India, but, there isn't a unified voice, across a policy making level. Suppose, if you try to represent the voice of youth at a, government forum, let's say. So the unified voice is not coming, and that's where probably our work has been around for the past 2 years. Trying to create that kind of a regional pan India network of youths, and also I can also see similar thing happening in other parts of the globe also. So one thing that to connect across geographies. Considering that we have shared problems, and also probably in connection with the indigenous youth, what I can see definitely is that the connection can definitely go beyond shared pain. It can be through shared value systems, which probably if indigenous youth and also in youth in general, they kind of realize about themselves, they kind of know about themselves, try to know more about themselves, you know uh, probably that's where the solution would lie. There isn't a set formula as to if you can do this, then something will happen after this, but definitely trying to collaborate across geographies, even across sectors. For example, you mentioned that you have many programs running. Someone is working on sanitation, someone is working on different aspects of it. So I think if knowledge sharing and also experience sharing across sectors and across geographies and across different communities can happen, probably that's where the solution will lie. Well, I mean, the adversary has been doing this for quite some time. The government, they actually is actually a consortium of different people with a single objective of trying to achieve something. So I think if we can do something with our own set of values, probably that's where the solution will lie. So that's what my understanding at present is, and we are constantly working towards it. So let's see if these things work. We'll have to find it out.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, maybe we can also answer the question from Anupam, Gunjal and Kat. Since we have established the indigenous way life of the key solution for the climate change, how can we make our indigenous voices heard at the global stage like the COP summit? Maybe Kat or Gunjal can answer
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, I'll insist Kat to respond to it. I mean, I can follow up
Yes.
later. Kat, if you're around.
Wait, I'm confused. The question of Anupam.
The question is, how can we make our indigenous voice heard at the global stage, like the COP summit or any stage in the global level?
Can you hear me? That's AYIPN is the reason why the AYIPN was established, because we have to have a voice, the IP youth has to have a voice, if it's necessary, to in regional to global arena, so the world can know what's happening in the communities, what's happening in regions, because it's in mainstream media, we don't show, in mainstream media, they don't show, what the ground. And then this organization like AYIPN and other organizations are the way, um to show what's really happening, to tell stories, what's really happening in the ground. But maybe just that much.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. So, continuing what Kat was actually mentioning, uh, definitely, there are existing mechanism even within the UN and even within the COP. So UNFCCC has this local communities and indigenous peoples platform, uh, where they kind of push forth the indigenous the issues related to indigenous people. But I do definitely see that more push and probably more representation is required, not only at the level of UNFCCC but also in other UN platforms where kind of similar experiences and similar issues are brought up frequently. So definitely, we being kind of at the forefront of climate justice and probably the first line defenders of climate. Definitely, I'd like to see more indigenous people being represented. They are given more chance to be represented. But for the time being, it's kind of I'd like things to change a bit. So definitely, Anupam, probably let's hope for the best in near future that more voice from our community actually reach those positions of power or position of policy making, and they try to include more of our voice. But for the time being, probably we'll have to be content with whatever little we have. But yeah, we'll definitely try as a community to make our voice more and more heard in those international stage.
Oh, thank you so much, Gunjang. We also have like Mark who raised his hand. Maybe Mark, you want to ask question? And also we have some question in the chat. We have from Mark. You can go ahead. If you okay. So Mark is a comment. You can do that also.
All right.
For the
All right. Mine is not a question. I want to give a comment. Honestly, Kat Dallon's story is truly inspiring. It reflects the courage we all need to stand against corporate actions that destroy our land, that pollute our food systems, and endanger both people and the planet. So this corporation continue to kill our soil, they poison our water, and threaten the future generations yet unborn, all in the name of profit. But our voices, most especially Kat's story, remind us that our being silent is not an option any longer. It's never an option. So it is high time we visit schools and universities and to build awareness. People need to know. Most of these indigenous people don't know how climate affects us. They don't know that we need to demand for climate justice. Well, this story resonates with me deeply, and I'm really, really glad she shared the story. Well, it is a call for us to unite our voices and actions, with both the farmers, both the youth, educators, and activists to defend our ecosystem. Honestly, we need to reclaim our lands and protect our collective future. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, everyone. I am Mark Vincent Oba from Africa, Nigeria.
wow, what a powerful sharing from Mark. And also we still have a question in the chat. We have from Rennie, a question, how can we, the youth, solve the problem of waste dumping in our community, most especially in the local community? This is the first question. For the second question, we have from Tyson. What strategies are required for the indigenous people to make a deep understanding of them about the values of ecosystem, because most of them, especially in Tanzania, depend on forest for charcoal production and farming to meet their basic needs. This is from Tyson. Who's from Gunjal or Kat who want to answer this question?
Go, Gunjan.
Okay. So, I know. So for waste dumping, definitely coming together as a community is the most crucial thing, because usually the people. I mean, waste dumping. It's from an industry, or if you can just clarify the whole thing, because kind of
Okay, maybe
situation might
Reni can.
change.
Maybe Reni, you can make sure it
Yeah.
is a waste
Okay.
dumping from
Industry. But regardless of whatever, the source of that thing is probably, community mobilization is probably, the basis of whatever action is to be followed. So I suggest, first, kind of, if people get together, which again is more difficult to do than being said, because, as our previous speakers, have shared, people tend to be kind of, even the movements are broken by kind of monetary interests also. But again, if people really are in for community way of life or the welfare of the community, they'll stick together, whatever, the case be. So, mobilizing and coming together is probably, it serves a basis of everything which has to be followed. And yeah, what strategies are required for people to understand about the okay. Yeah, so many times it also happens, like the previous speaker also was saying that when indigenous youth or indigenous people are kind of restricted in their own community, they don't have exposure of whatever things are going around even in the neighboring communities. So they tend to think and act in very isolated way. So for that, probably we'll have to reach out to other like-minded people, even across even if the people are from non-indigenous communities. We do need to reach out to them who are actually like-minded and who are actually with us in this fight for climate justice. I mean, again, it's not a very short process where kind of you give lecture to the indigenous community and then they suddenly wake up one night and then they are all kind of have deep understanding of things. And it's a slow process, and you need to kind of build up as a movement, and it sometimes even take generations. It's not sometimes it's not even a question of one generation where people are suddenly they have deep understanding about themselves and also whatever things are going around. So it's a slow process, but I think starting today, probably if you haven't, then it will make huge difference. So coming together, sitting down, discussing things, and at the same time keeping the values of your ancestors with you. Those things will actually build up to much larger things in coming days. So that's what I'll have to say. If Kat has to add something more to it, then Kat, please feel free to do it.
I can answer the number 2 question. The charcoal production. In our community, they produce charcoal. So it is okay. Wait. The charcoal production, because it's necessary. It's a survival, because when we can grow our crops, the harvest are so little, so we have to do something, to we have to do the alternative. So what they are doing in our community is they produce charcoal, and then but there are studies, that it's charcoal or charcoal farm, or charcoal production are sustainable. And then we shouldn't forget, that we have to hold accountable, the large corporation that are contributing far more to contributing more, to the climate crisis, than to that small farmers, that producing charcoal. And then another one is the government, should provide the basic needs, of people. They have to give the basic right. But it's really hard, because we have to fight for it. If we just beg or ask them to give this right to us, um they won't do it. So we have to fight for it. So yeah, we have to, we can't blame the people. What we can do is to hold the government accountable, the larger corporation that are contributing, to the climate crisis, the fossil fuels. So yeah, we have to hold them accountable, not the small farmers.
Thank you so much, Gunjal and Kat. As we don't have like, I think if you still have question, you can still, of course, put in the chat, and also you can connect to Gunjal or Kat or other IEPN members, and we will try to answer the question that you are sending. Maybe the last question for Gunjal and Kat is, what message would you like to send to our fellow youth and also decision making who are working toward just and inclusive climate solution? Maybe Kat or Gunjal, you can.
Yeah, Kat, you're speaking something? Message for
Yeah,
all of
you're
us?
still muting. Yeah.
I said, Gunjal, go.
Yeah, I mean, there isn't a message as such, but uh, kind of we are in this boat together, so kind of let's work our way out together. So yeah, I'm open to working with all of you. So definitely, yeah, that's what my message will be, to kind of be open to collaborate and kind of work for humanity, work for climate justice.
Yeah. Thank you, Gunjal. For me, it's sometimes we are scared, and it's normal because we're human. Sometimes it's scary to take a stand, to speak about it, to tell story. But we always have to remember that it's okay to be scared, because we're human. And then we're doing it collectively. We're not doing it individual. This is not for just one person. This is for people. This is for our community. So yeah, I write something. Okay. Yeah, it is frightening to take a stand, because more often the government, it's the government we are up against, where the gun is symbol of power. But we have to remember that our united fist, our collective strength, are more powerful in achieving what we long for in our community, and we will surely win. We will surely achieve this, because we are doing it collectively. And then let us not allow the spirit of resistance within us to die, no matter how thin or fragile its thread may be, because it is the spirit that drive us to encourage others and to continue fighting. to attain our dream of our community, where no one is forced to evacuate, where our rights are respected, especially our right to self-determination in our ancestral land. And if we allow no our if we allow this to die, it is as if we are letting the next generation to die, and then we become part of the reason why um we are complicit of the loss of that loss. So yeah, we have to fight, and then um we have to do it collectively, no? Because this is not just a one campaign and one snap and we can win, no. um Long fight, this is uh for example, the our generation, no? I am fifth generation in our community, and we're still fighting for our land. So this is a long fight. This is not just one snap and we can win, and then we have to sacrifice a lot. So yeah, we have to do it collectively. Thank you very much.
Okay. Wow. What a powerful message from Kat. I cannot speak anything. Like I'm too stunned to speak. Thank you so much, Kat. And also, Gunjal, thank you so much. And everyone who are participate in this conversation. We are really thank you all for the participation, and then uh, I can see how we are the future, because look how much we are really doing it. Maybe for the I think we can also I can ask Shangong to connect all these powerful stories and broader climate justice movement. San will synthesize all the discussion and share pathways for stronger indigenous youth leadership within the climate policy and action. Sian, the floor is yours.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Cindy. Thank you so much, everyone. Just give a brief introduction. I don't take so much time. My name is Shan. I'm the Indigenous Youth Coordinator for UNDP Bangkok Regional Hub, also the YECAP Coordinator. And first and foremost, I want to say thank you to our colleagues at Youth4Capacity, UNFCCC RCC Asia-Pacific, and of course, AYIPN for this incredible program and this webinar. And, I also want to acknowledge the powerful voices that we just heard from Cindy, Kat, and Gunjal, and the stories that came through the film, right? Each story is not only a reflection of resistance, but also a deep act of remembrance, remembering our connection to the land, to our ancestors, and to each other. I will be just giving a sharing. I won't be talking so much. Perhaps give me another 3 minutes to share. So after going through the film, right, I think what strikes to me the most is that the film Panagsupyat reminds us that the fight against destructive mining and the climate crisis is both about protecting nature and the life itself. For indigenous youths like ourselves, the climate crisis is not an abstract issue. It is lived daily, the loss of our forests, waters, languages, and sacred spaces. Yet, what shines through the film Panagsupyat is the resilience and strength of indigenous youths in the region who continue to stand, organize, document, and reclaim our narratives with the power of ancestral knowledge and community solidarity. And one thing I wanted to share, right, is this whole series is called the Becoming series. And it's very inspiring because when we talk about becoming, I think of it as an indigenous youth. We think of it as a process of becoming visible, becoming heard, and becoming recognized as leaders in the climate movement. So indigenous youths are not just the future. People say we are the future, right? I don't think that is necessarily true now. We are the present. We are already the knowledge holders, protectors, artists, and our advocates shaping what real, just, and climate and inclusive climate action really looks like. So through the program, the Youth Empowerment in Climate Action Platform, YECAP, we have been working to ensure that indigenous youths like yourself from across Asia and the Pacific are heard and seen in spaces where decisions are made. So YECAP we have become a bridge connecting community realities to regional and global platforms. Through our work, we are giving Indigenous youth a platform to speak in international forums such as COP, that someone mentioned just now, LCIP, the Local Community and Indigenous Peoples Platform, the Asia-Pacific Adaptation Network Week, and other global dialogues. And not as token voices, but as experts of lived experience and traditional knowledge. And this is all about reclaiming the narrative of who gets to lead the climate conversation. So, on a reflection kind of basis, as we reflect today's discussion, I want to give a question to all my colleagues and to all of you, right? How do we make more space for Indigenous youth to lead, to influence policy, and to shape climate action from the ground up? How do we move beyond inclusion towards real recognition and respect of Indigenous communities? So as we continue this becoming journey and this becoming series together, let us all remember that climate justice will only be possible when it is grounded in Indigenous rights, perhaps guided by youth leadership and inspired by the wisdom that is in all of us. So I think that is all my sharing for today. I don't want to share much, but happy to see a lot of familiar faces. And I think I'll pass it back to you, Cindy.
Oh, thank you so much, Sean. Okay, before we, I want to share also, like, for us, AYIPN, we have, if you want to still connect with AYIPN, I think Craig already shared in the group chat about our media social. You can also see, like, we have our campaign. It is the Indigenous Land in Indigenous Hand. It is basically to assert the right of the IPs of full control of, and ownership of our land and our indigenous territories. You can definitely connect to that. Thank you so much, and to all our speakers today and all uh, the participants for joining us today. This is the only one step in our becoming journey, a series that celebrates the courage, creativity, and leadership of the young people transforming climate narrative. Once again, thank you everyone for being part of today's meaningful exchange. I'll give back to Eva. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Cindy, Sean, Kat, Gunjal, Quang as well, and Jean and Stephanie that were supporting a lot behind the scenes and essentially made this session possible, but ultimately for everyone that joined, for sharing all your powerful stories and being a part of this very much important discussion here today. Like Sean mentioned just now, the becoming journey does not stop, but we hope that this session at least gave you, indeed, we'll be doing a group photo. So whilst everyone turns their camera on, I'll just be wrapping it all up. But we hope that through the session, you learn a glimpse into how protecting ecosystems is more than protecting nature and the land, but ultimately about protecting cultures, peoples, livelihoods, and it's all about social justice, really, and standing in solidarity with one another. So we started on the session as well with a song from the Cordillera people, and I'd love to go do a bit of a full circle moment and wrap the session with a message from that song that goes like this. No matter what you do, you cannot stop the flow. The water will surely find the path of freedom. That goes to show how life, nature, and freedom are unstoppable resources, and like water, they will find a way. So we hope you stay connected. Everyone, please turn their cameras on. Give us a big, big smile. We'll share resources as well of all the amazing organizers that made this session possible in the chat. And please feel free to check it out. Keep connecting, keep building your own capacity, and ultimately fighting for the rights of everyone that deeply cares about this planet. Okay, are we checking in with the team, Stephanie? Are we set for the photo? Perfect. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining us.